Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating open-source project called the Numerology Project. You know, it's a collaborative effort that explores this incredible intersection of mathematics, theology, and data analysis, all hidden within the text of the Quran.
So let's just start with the big question that drives this whole thing. Are there really hidden mathematical patterns woven into the Quran, like a deliberate, divine structure? It's a huge question, right? And this project is using open source collaboration to try and find an answer.
To get a feel for what we're talking about, just take a look at this number, 15,873. Now I know, at first glance it looks totally random, just a bunch of digits. But trust me, you're going to want to remember this number, because it unlocks something pretty amazing.
Okay, got it? Now we're going to multiply it by another number. And not just any number, we're multiplying it by 7. A number that, as you'll see, is incredibly important in this whole story.
And what do you get? 111,111. Whoa, a perfect repeating string of ones. Now that is not a coincidence. This is a perfect example of what the project calls number harmony.
So what is this number harmony thing, anyway? Well, it's the core idea that there are these elegant, often repeating mathematical relationships hiding in plain sight within the Quran's text and structure. But here's the key. This isn't just about math for math's sake. It's deeply, deeply rooted in theology.
And that brings us to this key verse, QS 15, verse 87. It mentions 7 of the often repeated verses, or sab'an min al-mathani in Arabic. Now this phrase, it's like a clue. It points to both the number 7 and the idea of repetition. It's pretty much the theological spark that set this whole project in motion.
Okay, so we have our theological anchor in that verse. Now let's go back to that wild mathematical pattern we started with and see how this whole theme of repetition gets even more interesting.
This chart just lays it out so clearly. We start with our base number, 15,873. We multiply it by 7, and bam, we get all those ones. But the pattern doesn't stop there. What if we multiply that result by 7 again? You get 7777777, all 7s. It's a perfect cycle. This kind of beautiful recurring pattern is exactly what the project is looking for.
And a pattern like this, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. The Numerology Project is seriously ambitious. The whole thing is structured as this massive collaborative effort to produce 7 distinct books. Yep, there's that number again, 7. And as you can see from this table, they're aiming to cover every angle. Book 1 just introduces the basic concept of number harmony, but from there, they're going deep. We're talking advanced patterns, connections to cosmology and modern science, even practical applications. It's the whole shebang.
Now this is where it gets really, really cool in my opinion. This isn't some academic project locked away in an ivory tower. Nope. It's fully open source, which means it's designed for pretty much anyone who's curious to jump in and contribute.
And the team has made it incredibly simple to get started. First, you just visit the project's official page on GitHub. From there, you can just browse around, see what's happening, and figure out how you might want to help. And finally, step 3, you just start. It's designed to be that easy to get involved.
And the best part is, you can get involved no matter what your skill level is. On the one hand, you can just report an issue, which is really just a fancy way of suggesting an idea. You know, hey, have you guys looked at this pattern? On the other hand, if you do have more concrete stuff to share, like a script you wrote or some analysis, you can submit that directly to the project.
So what could a simple, accessible contribution actually look like? Well, the barrier to entry is probably a lot lower than you think.
I mean, just look at these examples. You could literally just count the frequency of a word in a verse, or suggest a new way to visualize a pattern, like that chart we just saw. You could even just help by checking some of the known data, like the frequency of the word Allah or Rahman. Every single one of these small tasks adds real value to the project.
And that really brings us to the end here. The Numerology Project is this incredible open invitation for anyone to come explore this world where faith, math, and data all come together. They provided the tools and the framework, which leaves just one last question for you. What harmony pattern will you discover?